Ariel Helwani in San Jose alongside Daniel Cormier, who of course meets Frank Mir this Saturday night at UFC on Fox number 7. And Daniel, welcome. It's good to see you. And I got to say, the big development brewing here. What is going on? You knew exactly where I was going.
Oh yeah.
What is going on there? I like it, by the way.
It's really nappy and nasty though, so it needs to go.
I don't know about that.
It has to go, dude. It has to go.
What does this represent?
I don't cut my hair when I'm training, you know. And then I did the top just for pictures yesterday, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna leave it for a few more days. You know, I've kind of grown fond of it. It's like having a dog or a cat that shows up at your house every day. You feed it, and you're like, oh, he's pretty cool, you know. So I'm kind of not ready to let him go yet, but I think I will here pretty soon.
So what are you feeding the beard?
Likes it too.
Oh,
she loves it. She's always pulling, and I go, you know, that actually hurts. She just sits on the couch and she's all, I'm like, that hurts.
I'm sure your kids do as well.
No, they hate it.
Oh, really?
My daughter hates it. It rubs up against her face. She doesn't really like it.
So does this represent anything? I mean, is this the mode that you're in, or it's just you're lazy?
It's a training thing, you know. I usually do it before every fight, but there's not this much media, so you don't really see it, you know. So you go and I usually have it at the weigh-ins, and then I'll shave it off before the fight.
You know what's interesting about this fight? It feels to me like throughout the build-up, and there's a lot of buzz going into this one, subtle jabs are being thrown between you and Frank. You're very complimentary of each other, but then he'll throw out, I heard he's lazy. And you'll throw, what's going on there?
Well, I mean, I think he kind of started that, you know. It's almost like, no, you started it, you know. So if you're going to start it, then let's do it. You know, I think it's fun, you know. I mean, I think it gives a chance for me to show another side of my personality, you know. I can hold my own in that area too, but you know, a lot of that stuff I just don't quite understand, you know. Like, where does he hear that I'm lazy whenever he can hardly get through a first round, you know? Like, I mean, come on, man. How do you, he's exhausted after the first round most times, and I don't understand where he hears that I'm lazy, you know. And it's not, I don't mind trash talk, whatever, but it's like, it's kind of that the way he does it, it's really like kind of condescending, you know. Like, he kind of looks down on you. It's like, I don't quite understand that, you know. I don't understand. You know,
as though he's smug.
Very smug. I mean, yeah. I mean, he's very smug. I mean, you know that from. I knew that before I even started fighting. You know, you could watch him versus Brock Lesnar, you know, and you could tell that he was actually one of those guys. But again, as I've said, it won't matter. You know, I can go out there on Saturday and take him out, and on his next fight, he's going to be doing the same thing to the next guy. So that's just him. But you know, I intend on going out there, taking him out, and you know, he's like the guy in high school. You know, it's like, oh man, here comes Frank, right?
Do you feel as though he's a mentally weak fighter?
You know, this is where it kind of gets difficult, you know, because then it's almost like you're talking about a guy that's accomplished so much, and you don't want to. You know, I don't really like doing that. You know, I really do. I respect Frank for what he did in this sport. I respect Frank more for overcoming what he went through with the motorcycle. I love that he's a family man. Watching that deal on Sunday, man, I love how much he loves his kids. With that being said, when I look at him in the cage, I think he's a front runner. When he's doing well, he's okay. But when things start to get a little tough, I think he tends to, I mean, he will wilt before his opponent most times. You know, I think when in a fight of will and determination, I think I beat Frank every time.
You know, he left the comforts of home, Las Vegas, to go train at Jackson's. Does that tell you anything? Because you said in the road to the Octagon, I've seen you say this in other interviews as well, like he doesn't have as much to fight for. He's accomplished it. He's not as hungry as I am. But does that say anything to you about where he's at right now?
Well, it says that Frank's serious about this fight, and also that Frank knows that the guy that went into the cage with Junior Dos Santos isn't good enough anymore. Not for where this division's going. You know, he had to make some changes. So, it's good. You know, I'm glad that he went out there and tried something new. I'm glad that he went and got serious, because I want to fight the best Frank Mir. I want to fight the guy that people were amazed with back in the day. You know, like, oh man, that dude's something else. That's the guy I want to step in the cage with. Some people are like, well, that would kind of make him a little nervous. It doesn't. It excites me. You know, I get his best, and I'm ready for it. You know, there's a couple things I anticipate this weekend. I think he's gonna be in a little better shape physically. But I think he's going to be, you know, stronger a little because he's been through a tougher training camp. But outside of that, you know, it takes a little more time. You know, you won't see that influence of those guys as fast as some people think. You know, well, Frank went to Jackson's for 6 weeks. Well, 6 weeks isn't going to change 10 years of doing something a certain way. You know, so even though he may have changed in the room, when he gets in the cage, and he'll start doing what he's always done. That's him. Maybe next fight or the next fight, you know, you'll start to see their influence on him a little more. It just takes longer than a 6-week training camp to change a person that's been doing something a certain way for 10 years.
Why do you care so much about this fight? You were supposed to fight in November. It went away, and yet you called him out. You wanted this fight. Why did you want this fight in your UFC debut?
Just because, man, it's a fight where I get to test myself. You know, I've never been in there with, before Barnett, I had never been in there with anyone with great jiu-jitsu skills. And Josh isn't as good off his back as Frank is. Frank's a good jiu-jitsu guy off of his back. I want to test myself. And also, you know, I like when fans want to see fights. You know, and when that fight was announced initially, people got really excited about it. You know, they were, I got so many tweets, and my Facebook page has never been more engaged, you know, so I was like, you know what, I want to fight Frank, you know, because of that. And also, I was excited, man. I started training hard. You know, I put in the training camp for him, and I feel like once we signed those contracts initially, we had an obligation, you know, to fight each other. So let's go and do it. Let's fulfill it, and then we can move forward with our careers.
Okay, let's end on this. How much do you weigh right now?
235 maybe. You know, I've had to actually try to make an effort to keep some weight on now, because I've been training hard. I've been 232, 230, you know, and I really want to be 235 for this fight, you know. So last fight I was 230, and I didn't try and put the weight on because I thought the guy was going to be smaller. Frank's a little bigger, so I want to try to be 235. I think that's probably my best weight for him because he's so big. Now, if he comes in smaller, he probably gives away his biggest advantage.
What are the chances this is one and done for you at heavyweight in the UFC?
I don't know. You know, I mean, I haven't thought ahead of this fight. You know, I've been so focused on Frank Mir just getting better. He presents so many problems in different areas that I had to prepare for him thoroughly. So, I don't know. You know, I'm going to get with my management team, get with my coaches, and talk to the UFC and see where we want to go. You know what I mean? And it's also a matter of how long do they want me out. You know, if they're okay with me sitting for 6 months, then say, okay, Daniel, you need to fight at 205. Then it's going to take some time. You know, it's not going to be 3-4 months. You know, I need 5-6 months to do it the right way and get down the weight. So if they want me to fight again, then let me fight heavyweight. I'll fight like Randy. I'll go up and down.
Daniel, congrats on making it to the UFC, and good luck on Saturday night.
Thanks, Ariel. I appreciate it, man.